Howdy, folks. Howie here, Howie Cat. We're going to take a look at the Daredevil run from Chip Zdarsky. If you remember, I did issues 1 probably through 10. I know I read the first trade and a couple floppies after. I've been reading the series. But, the story was interesting then. What had happened is Daredevil actually accidentally killed a man. That happens in comics and whatnot. And they always kind of gloss over it. This time they decide to make a big deal out of it, and he's acting like it's the first time. It's happened before in the comics, but of course, continuity is such that it didn't happen before. But it happened before to other people at the same time. Weird, whatever, comics. So Spider-Man had come to talk to him and said, look, it happened to me too. I hit someone too hard. I did something wrong, and that's what happened to Daredevil. He hit someone. They fell, and on the way down, they just caught a corner. That was it. Anyways, Daredevil has decided he's going to face trial. Now, his alter ego, and I love this cover, I'm going to say, this artwork. Oh, I really love that artwork. He decides to face trial, but does so as Daredevil, not as Matt Murdock, his secret identity, as Daredevil. A little weird because he ends up, after facing trial and going to prison because he is guilty of manslaughter. He hit someone and they fell and died. And he's guilty, and he pleads guilty. He goes to prison as Daredevil. That's where Spider-Man was talking to him about the event on his life. And there's some nice art in here. I think this is really pretty. So they're talking about their pasts with Jessica Jones and all that. Anyways, she comes to represent him. But the idea is he's going to go to jail as Daredevil. And he does. He goes to jail as Daredevil. Which is crazy, because how do you... Let me find a picture of this. He's in prison at the end. It's way at the end, as with the mask and everything on. And we have a lot of his old foes showing up, and it was a fun story. It's really worth reading. And here it is. He's going to court as Daredevil. Suit, tie, gloves, and mask. It's crazy. It was silly. And here is the cover for one of the last issues. In his orange jumpsuit as Daredevil. With the mask. He really does. He goes as Daredevil. At one point, he's trying to save his city, too. And here he is, in prison as Daredevil with the masks. I don't know how they do that. Whatever. He does it. But in the story, he goes and asks Tony Stark for some money, because he's trying to save Suicide Slum, where he lives. It's Harlem. I don't know. It's a bad part of New York. Kind of real, kind of fictional in New York. And Tony just can't do it. He tries to buy some buildings out to save people's homes. At first, he doesn't want to. And Daredevil gives him a hard time, saying, you're not a real hero if you won't give some money. I mean, sure, you can risk your life, but you can't risk a few dollars. And Tony tries to buy the apartments, but the bad guys, of the story got in and got them. And at the end, you learn that Elektra snuck in, and she had at one point within the storyline worked with Daredevil to take their money, and she ran off with it because Elektra's a bad guy, kinda. And she buys him out. The main gist of the story, the entire storyline, and I'm looking forward to issues 26 on, is because this ends at issue 25. It's very fun. Issue 25, Daredevil goes to jail. Elektra tells him she had paid for everything and took care of it. And it ends with Elektra as Daredevil. And that is a beautiful page there, the splash page. I I think that's really cool looking how she looks. I like her costume. I like it. That's the only scene you see of it. So issue 26 starts with Elektra playing Daredevil's part. And I think this is I really like this Daredevil run. It started off as a good Daredevil run. It's become a great Daredevil run. I have seen other people being Daredevil, but Elektra as Daredevil, that's kind of cool. The actual book that this happens in is worth way too much. In my opinion, it's just a costume swap. They've done that many times. But yeah, I'm going to read 26 on, just to see how it is, and if it's great, I'll tell you. But I think this is real. I would say the current Chip Zdarsky Daredevil run, pick it up. I like it. The trades are out there. This is issue 5 of the trades. They're good. They're good. I mean, I read them all, every issue. Mostly floppies and back and whatever. But yeah, solid run. Gives the Howie Cat's paw print of approval, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. And the art is phenomenal. All right, have a good one, folks.